To give a welcome for those of you online already. Thank you for being on time. We'll begin in 2 minutes with our meeting. Just waiting for more people to be online. Thank you very much. It's now 12 o'clock local time in Costa Rica. Different times for you, but would like to welcome you. Would like to thank you for being on time, for being interested in Costa Rica. Definitely, it's an honor for you to have your company today. I'm going to take this 30 minutes for a presentation on some of the important facts about Costa Rica. Why is it a good choice in this time? Some people might think it's not the right timing, but actually it's the perfect timing to start doing this, because once this whole situation is over, we would need to start again, restructuring ourselves. We don't know if you have sold Costa Rica already. We will be selling Costa Rica for the first time, but definitely Costa Rica has many things to offer, and this if you have been confined as we have been, respecting the authorities in Costa Rica, people will be desperate to get out of their houses, but they don't want to go just anywhere. They want to go to a safe destination. And this is some of the things that we'll be talking about. Myself, my name is Michel Aranda. I've been in the tourism industry now for 30 years. It's an honor for me to share with you information about my country. I'm also a tropical biologist, and I've worked as a tour guide in my country. So we do know the destination as a matter of fact. The thing is that I'm talking today in behalf of the Grupo Pro Imagen and in behalf of the country that will welcome you and your guests when you come to Costa Rica. So what we'll be doing is sharing a little presentation. I'm going to take out the camera right now, and we're going to share this PowerPoint. We'll be for 30 minutes sharing these images about the country. Once done with that, we will be having a Q&A session. So we'd really appreciate if you turn off your cameras and your microphones to have the best service right now, best network. Once we're done with the 30 minutes, we'll open the Q&A and we will be taking all the questions. I'm sure you have many questions about the country, about what's going on in the country, and this is what we're here for. So we'll get started with this. Thank you very much. So the group Pro Imagen here with the Adventure is Waiting is a group of 93 members, the perfect combination for you. We have hotels, travel agents, we have car rentals, domestic airlines in Costa Rica. So we have the one spot where you would be able to have all of your questions answered while you're in the country. Our mission basically is to foster and project a strong and positive image. This is something important. We need a positive image in this time. And the thing is, mutual promotional efforts. We work with the government, yes. We work amongst ourselves together. And also, we would like to welcome you into this equation. We need you, and we know you need us as well. We have, again, answers to all of your questions for this destination that many people would want to visit. What we do basically is having educational seminars in different spots. Obviously, because of the situation we're going through right now, we cannot go towards you. Definitely, I'm sure you would have doubts if we go towards you at this time, but this doesn't mean that we have stopped. We are going on. We believe that it's a good time and to start preparing a new way to approach your clients and your guests. So that's why we want to position Costa Rica as a tourist destination. We train agents like you in selling Costa Rica. Please contact us. Please keep in touch because this is the way we'll have a better sale throughout knowing the destination as one should. We want to promote negotiations through a business conference. Now we use the keys. We have the net social networks, and that's what we're using. One of the good things is that we work along with the Costa Rican Tourism Bureau, which is the official regulatory body of the Costa Rican industry. They are doing a great job to keeping this industry alive. They're doing all the things necessary to guarantee it would be what it was, Costa Rica, to be raised again. So we're responsible together for the marketing, for the promotion, and the public relations. The idea is to foster and cooperate with private initiatives. Let's go to the point. Um, what makes Costa Rica unique? Sustainable. I'm sure you have heard about Costa Rica in these matters, right? Uh, we are known for being an eco destination. So in Costa Rica, we have worked in this certificate, certification for sustainable tourism. If hotels still have stars, restaurants will still have forks. Well, we have given leaves, and leave means that you're committed to preserve nature and culture. Ideally, will be both of them, but it isn't always possible. Knowing that all of our outsources in Pro Imagen are doing a great effort to promote nature and culture would mean that once you're traveling with us, you also help in these matters. You're leaving a good footprint. Your clients will be helping to preserve the environment and the culture of Costa Rica, making it therefore unique. If we talk about nature, Costa Rica received 3 years ago in Paris, in France, by imagine this the Eiffel Tower being lit with the Costa Rican flag. We were known as the country with the cleanest energy in the whole planet. Very small country like Costa Rica that happened to be the third country in the world with a public hydroelectrical energy. Costa Rica received that kind of acknowledgement worldwide. This is really important. We use hydroelectrical, geothermal, and eolical energy. One of the things we're really known for, and one of the things you want to look when you're selling a destination, hospitality. Uh, your clients, you probably now, when you decide to travel again, you need to feel at home. You need to feel safe, like you have a family. And as a tour guide, a travel agent, throughout 30 years, I know that once the guests leave the country, they forget all about the names of the trees and the animals and the cities they have gone through. Something they never forget is the warmth and the friendliness of the Costa Ricans. That's why it is known that Costa Rica are peace lovers, and it's very cute. The way we are known is as ticos. We add diminutives to each and every word in Costa Rica. So that's why we're known as ticos ourselves. We're not that big, and This is who we are, a country that has no army since 1948. It's the only country in the world that has no army, no military reserves since 1948. Literally, in this place you're looking in this picture, that used to be the base of the army, we changed militaries for teachers. We took out the guns and we put it in notebooks. That's what we did. We built a school in what used to be the army. Now it's a national museum, but this was a transformation. So I'm going to take Ryoichi Sasakawa's words. I don't know if you know who this guy is. He was a military, very known for being aggressive. A lot of blood ran through his hands. And he says, blessed is the Costa Rican mother who knows that her son would never be a soldier. Julio Maria Sanguinetti, Uruguay's ex-president, said that wherever there is a Costa Rican, there will be peace. Definitely being the oldest democracy in Latin America, one of the only 20 full democracies worldwide, well, definitely says a lot about Costa Rica, the safety, stability of this country. We have worked a lot in the human rights. Actually, this was the keyword for our actual president to win the elections, the human rights. And we believe not just in a specific group. We know, as a matter of fact, it is all the minorities that should be recognized in terms of equality. And this is a big achievement in Costa Rica. Now we have beaches with accessible tourism, something that was never thought before and that we're working really hard right now in Costa Rica. So definitely it is a positive thing. This is something that you may already know and you may have already heard about Costa Rica, a biological corridor. The corridor is where the species will be able to meet to have a safe genetic exchange. Maybe, and I don't want to go deep into this, is where they will be able to defend themselves against diseases. When you just have islands as national parks and reserves, well, the genetic information is reduced as the families get closer and closer. What we need is to have a larger percentage. And when I'm saying larger, it's 1/3 of the country that is protected. Would you imagine your country with 1/3 of it protected? That would be amazing. So Costa Rica has been able to preserve 500,000 species of flora and fauna. This is 6.3% of the planet. Might not impact you, but we're only 0.03% of the planet. We're very, very, very small in Costa Rica, and we have been able to preserve all of this. The fact that we are a biological corridor, it means that this is the place where South American jaguar was able to meet with a North American puma and check the paws and share the territory. This is what Costa Rica is about. This is how magic this thing is. Not just that, in terms of the population, Costa Rica is only one of the only 5 blue zones in the planet. And I know this might be a new concept for you. You might not have heard of blue zones. This is an area where a whole community, not just individuals, where a whole community lives above 100 years. And Costa Rica, again, is one of the only 5 spots in the whole planet that have that acknowledgement, having a blue zone. So there must be secrets and things in this country that we want to share with the customers. And this is why it makes sense to work in wellness. This is a new concept of tourism. We have known leisure, we have known professional, we have known naturalist, but now we know wellness as well as another kind of tourism. Imagine the stress. Obviously, I'm not talking about you. I don't think anyone in this chat room has stress nowadays, right? I'm sure you know people that have stress. Wouldn't it be magic to go to a place where you can unplug and recharge, rebuild yourself from a new energy? Well, this is what Costa Rica is offering as a new kind of tourism. That's where we're known as the pura vidas. If you translate that, pure life, doesn't really make sense. But if you see the background of it, I would translate it into something Hakuna Matata. And you all know that, right? So that means no problem. If you run into a Costa Rican on the street, he will say pura vida. When he'll give you goodbye, he will say pura vida. And even if there's a conflicted situation, the way they are going to solve that will end up in a pura vida. This is definitely part of the lifestyle of Costa Ricans. No problem, no stress. It's all good. That's why Happy Planet Index gave us in 2016 recognized us as the happiest population in the planet. Yes, this very small country was given that. Uh, in Costa Rica, we are cheerful, we are pura vida, and that's what we want to share with you. So let's go to the point. Let's learn some of the facts of Costa Rica. Why is Costa Rica important and interesting? We have the security. Again, this is one of the main issues now when you're going to start traveling again. You want to make sure you go to a safe. The fact that we have an army really talks about the peacefulness of Costa Rican. My grandfather used to say, no news, good news. You don't hear about Costa Rica as a conflictive destination, but the police inside the country, a tourism police, like you have seen where I've worked, means that they have a friend in the country. I was able to be on the streets last days and with this situation of the virus before the airports and the borders were shut down, and I could notice individuals, the FITs going towards the police and find them help. Actually, a friend, a family. You don't want to feel like you're alone. This is something really important. Our currency, that's the colon. It's been moving quite a lot. 578 colones per US dollar is an average in these days. So that means your currency is worth a lot. Your power of buying, the purchase is higher here in Costa Rica. Language. The official language of Costa Rica is Spanish. However, because of the long expertise of tourism in this country, we have been able to form in different languages all throughout the country. As you will see, this is very related to something that we'll mention in a couple of seconds right now. Let's just talk about the airports. We have two international airports, one Santa Maria close to our capital in San Jose, and Daniel Oduber on the North Pacific. This is where we have all the large beach complexes, our fun sun destination. Not just that, we have domestic airports. In the next plate, I will share with you that big network we have created. And this government has been helping a lot in opening new and what was somehow abandoned domestic landing fields. The education, this is something really important. In 1948, when we abolished the Army of Costa Rica, we redistributed the budget of this country and we gave it to public education, social security, and public interest housing. So actually, this is a keyword to Costa Rica. We have worked in forming more and better professionals. That's why I was talking about languages in Costa Rica. We have very good educational system. 97.3% of the population of Costa Rica is literate. How many countries in the world, how many first world countries can say what this third world country is doing? 97.3% literacy rate. This is really outstanding for Costa Rica. One of the things that is also important is the fact that we have climatic diversity. Please don't miss the next webinar we're going to have. We're going to be talking about Costa Rica as a year-round destination. Not many countries have this opportunity. We do. So this is going to be a beautiful webinar. We'll be sharing Costa Rica all year round. We have 12 climate zones. We have 83 microclimates. But guess what? We have no seasons in Costa Rica. We have 12 hours of sunlight every single day. The difference in between the shortest and the longest days is only 22 minutes. Imagine that. It's a beautiful destination all throughout the year. Given this fact, you'd also understand that with this climatic diversity, we're going to have agriculture as a very important subject. Not just as a group, what do we export the most? As a group again, individually, there will be microchips, yes, a surprise for many of you, but as a group, agriculture is the one thing we export the most. We have coffee, you know that. We have bananas, you may know that. And of course, the best pineapples in the world are from Costa Rica. But we also have apples, we have raisins, we have apricots. Imagine that Costa Rica has macadamia. There's only 1% of the territory in the whole planet that could have macadamia. Well, Costa Rica is in that 1%. Imagine that. So this just talks about the climatic diversity that we could have. And this will have an incidence on your experience in Costa Rica, having daily fresh products. And I mean by this, they will not put it into a freezer for 3 weeks before they get to your supermarket and being gassed so it looks ripened when it's not. I know I'm ruining it for you, but here things are fresh daily. Doesn't taste like plastic. That's a beauty in Costa Rica. And the population, we have just gotten to the 5 million inhabitants in Costa Rica. So a small population, let's say 2.5 million in 4% of the territory. It's not too crowded. It's still very open. That's why we have all that greenery. We friendly people, kind people. This is the plate I was talking about, that domestic network for flights. You would think it would be expensive, not worth it. It could be really interesting. Most of all, if you don't have a lot of time to visit Costa Rica, you save time. Because of the topography, we go from sea level to 12,589 feet. Very narrow, 60 miles in the narrowest part. I don't know if you could see my arrow. That's only 60 miles. That will go up and down very fast. That's why they confuse us with an island very oftenly. Well, we're not, but it makes roads really difficult in Costa Rica. So by flying, you will be saving time, and with time, you save money as well. So that's really important for you to know. Let's talk about the niches. Okay, we have thought of something for everyone. Adventure, with over 43 different products that could be sold in Costa Rica. If you like adrenaline, we have that. But if you're a beginner, we also have places that are very safe for kids and families to enjoy that. Ranked as one of the best destinations for adventure tourism. Goes to 2017, we're the top 10 worldwide. Ecotourism, of course, you know that. The fact that 26.3% of the territory are national parks and biological reserves. That's really important, where you could visit places like this. But again, the private investment is really important. Bird watching. There's 900 species of birds. Actually, we have 919 species of birds, with over 200 of them that will be migratory. That means that we have birds that you would know, yes, but we have more birds than all the US and all of Canada together. In your European continent and watching us, thank you very much. That's more than all the European continent together. So imagine that Costa Rica is really a paradise for bird watchers. Romance. In Costa Rica, you can fall in love again and again. Doesn't have to be your first honeymoon. But when you're planning a wedding, Costa Rica has been featured in the Brides magazine and being chosen as one of the top destinations. Why? Because you can do something really original when you're selling a honeymoon, not like others. And this is when reinventing yourself throughout this crisis is really handy. Offer something different. When you reset your computer, oftenly you find something different. When we have to reset ourselves, like we're going through right now in the tourism industry worldwide, we have to create new things. So Costa Rica offers you very creative opportunities in these matters. Contact us, be in touch with us, and we can help you. Usually, after the honeymoon comes the family. So Costa Rica, things about this, we can receive very young tourists, very elder. We think about the third age as well in Costa Rica. So we have something for everyone in Costa Rica. Even teenagers are able to smile when they visit this country. Some of the destinations are really boring for the adults or really boring for the children. It's very good for everyone, guaranteed. I have my own teenagers at home. Gastronomic experience. This is something really interesting. International cuisine is good. Costa Rica is really known, as I said before, agriculture allows us to have very good ingredients. We have very good chefs. We have a very good school for them in Costa Rica. Working in the identity, that's something really important. This is what we have for breakfast in Costa Rica. Rice and beans mixed together, red pepper, onion, cilantro, very flavored food. It's not spicy. Some people are worried about that. We are not Mexico. I love their food, but we're not Mexico. Our food is edible, not fire-like. So this is something that smells really good, part of the identity. And by the way, if you looked at me in the first images, it makes beautiful bodies. The culture as well. Richness of Costa Rica stems from the cultural diversity of the people. Where is this cultural diversity coming from? Costa Rica is a country formed by immigrants that hasn't and will always have them. And I'll use myself as an example. My name is Michel. I said, which doesn't sound too Costa Rican. My mother was from Belgium, and my grandparents on her side, German and Polish. I really don't know how they did it, but I know they did it because I'm here. Then my father, he was Costa Rican 100%, but 3 generations before him, my family name was in Nicaragua. It entered the continent throughout Mexico, being originally from Spain. So I am what you could say a supreme walking pizza. Just like this wheel, see, all these colors blending. That's Costa Rica. That's the result of our culture. It's a very ethnically diverse country in its origins from the very beginning. And that's good to know. And this is a good example. When you see Guanacaste, which is the Savaneros, the local cowboy area, and you compare it to the Caribbean side, which is Afro-Caribbean, imagine what kind of blending you could find in between them and giving you as a result this culture-rich country, which is Costa Rica. Wellness, as I said, this is something that is really increasing. This is something that people are really working at in Costa Rica. We understand the world's needs. We understand, number one, the population worldwide is getting older, so we need good treatments, natural treatments. We understand that the population worldwide as well is getting stressed, depressed, anxious. So definitely it is good to have places where you can release this, where you can canalize this. And Costa Rica is offering this. Just look at the beauty of the place where this is happening. I'm sure you're jealous by now. Uh, I'm pretty sure not everyone could have that position as well. I know I couldn't. But the thing is, imagine yourself practicing this, connecting with nature, with yourself at the very same time in a place like this. It's a beautiful concept that Costa Rica is developing. Something else that is being developed in Costa Rica is the mines, is the incentive, corporative business. As I said, this is one of the first kind of tourism worldwide. This is the first visitors we ever had for business. When Costa Rica began, it was just with people negotiating coffee and bananas. We'll be going back to the roots, but improved. Just take a look at the new convention center Costa Rica built. This might be a surprising news. You have already sold Costa Rica. We have this brand new state-of-the-art convention center just 5 miles away from the airport. And around it, we have hotels, 5-star hotels. We have malls. We have all the facilities, large parking spaces, all the facilities required for you to have an excellent event. So please consider Costa Rica if you're going to have this kind of an event. It is new. I guarantee that if you try it, you're going to be fully satisfied. In terms of accommodations, we have all the different budgets for all the different interests in Costa Rica. So we go from very small bed and breakfast to luxury hotels, boutique hotels, all inclusive. But again, throughout Pro Imagen, it would be easier for you because we can help you throughout the different areas to find the necessary companion wherever your clients will be moving in this country. Images talk more than words, right? That could be any of us at this time. We can find, I'm sure that you would love to be confined in a place like this. Most of all with these delicious fruits next to you. Now let's talk about the regions of Costa Rica. This is literally like on TV, running out of time. So I'm gonna go through this really fast. We have divided the country for this presentation in these specific areas. In order to try and summarize it, we could have larger divisions, but this is the way we'll do it for you today. The Northern Plains. This is one iconic image for the area, the Aranda volcano, the most active volcano throughout the planet. For 43 years, this volcano spit lava rocks nonstop, 50 to 250 times in a day. Just imagine that. That was impressive. So it's the most active, not in terms of intensity, but longevity, 43 years, and around it, all different kind of choices. So the way we're going to do this is that I'd love you to have screenshots of these products we have, of these different options for you, because even though I would love to go through all of them, we would not have enough time to do that. So please screenshot your choices in this area right now. Take the time to study whatever your needs, whatever your clients' profiles are. Think about new ones. Don't take that for granted. Maybe you have always worked in a line and you want to try something different. Costa Rica offers different choices. We have mentioned hot springs, natural hot springs. The good thing is that they're just warmed. They don't smell like eggs. Being in a place like this, horseback riding, just hiking, as this image shows, just a small piece of paradise where you can enjoy. These are the outsources linked to a pro imagen. Please, again, screenshot. As we go through this exercise, I would love you to please take the time, once we're done with this, to go and look each one of them, look at the products, look at the options, and then you contact us, because we want to make sure that you know all of us as necessary. Because it would take me a webinar to talk about each one of them. So beautiful products we have to offer for you. North Pacific, this is the Fun Sun area for Costa Rica, where we have most of the large beach complexes. This is the warmest part of the country, less rain throughout the year. That means more sunlight all throughout the years. These are the options. Again, please screenshot this, study them, analyze them, and then you contact us, because we can help you making all kind of combinations with these tours while you're in the different areas. Let's move on. This is Rincón de la Vieja National Park, a beautiful place. An active volcano, one of the 7 active volcanoes in Costa Rica. And what's unique about this place, if you look at my arrow over here, this is the only place in the world that has an immediate transition between cloud forest and tropical dry forest. Cloud forests were very threatened by the dairy industry, and tropical dry forest, basically because of its fertility of the land, of climate, good urban qualities. Only 2% remain in the whole world. So you want to share this with your guests, with your clients, a very exclusive area. But also, as I said, the beach complexes are located over here. It's just beautiful. This is a place where you would want to get away and unplug from the world for a little while, definitely. Okay, here we go. We have then hotels. We have 2 operators as well over here. Please screenshot this. Screenshot this, go through their websites, study their products, and then you contact us. So we can help you again. This is the whole point of this presentation, that you have access to a better product that will be handed to you. Central Valley, good way to start your journey in Costa Rica. This is where we have Juan Santa Maria's International Airport. The oldest one opened in 1955. And this is where you have your seminars. You could have your seminar and you look for places to go while you're in the area. Look at all the choices which are in this area, which in the premises of the Central Valley, that 4% of the territory. So please take pictures. Please take time, visit, analyze. Let us know how we can help you to have your idyllic package. We have theaters, we have museum, the Gold Museum, beautiful collection, Jade Museum, the largest collection worldwide for jade, even though China has more jade, but we have the largest collection. So many choices in these matters, but also Poás and Iraçu volcanoes are within this area, 2 active volcanoes. The first volcanoes that were accessible by road. There's only 5 volcanoes in the continent. You could drive to the crater. Costa Rica has 2 of them. And these are the ones that I'm mentioning. And we have put in two plates because it's a larger area in terms of outsources for us, of our members. So we have put in this part the hotels. Screenshot and save them as hotels. Okay. We have done it. I'm going to move on now to the next image. These are tour operators, travel agents. We have, obviously, this is where the headquarters will be. Some of them operate all around the country, not just in San Jose. We even have members that run cruise ships. So that's why I needed to look at all of them individually and check their websites, contact, and have all the questions that you have. Some of them are very specific, so make sure you visit all of them. We have also car rentals over here and domestic flights. Let's move on to the Caribbean. We're going to divide the Caribbean in two. We'll start with the South Caribbean. These are some of your choices. If when I mention some of the choices, please screenshot it. They're not the only ones. And that's why, again, it's important that we build this cooperation, that we work together. So you contact us and we can tell you all about the different choices in the area. This is we have more the Afro-Caribbean influence, that flavor. You know that gallo pinto that I was showing you for breakfast? Well, this is where it's originally from. So they have a very big influence on our culture. The North Caribbean for Costa Rica, we have Tortuguero. That's a must if you like nature. This is a beautiful area where you can enjoy this. This is what the Central Avenue looks like. There's no roads that will take you to Tortuguero. Turtle nesting. We're going to have, again, this auto webinar, Costa Rica all year round. We're going to share with you different turtle seasons, mating and nesting. Please make sure you contact for this next webinar. This is what kayaking looks like in Tortuguero. And here we have hotels and tour operators, Ríos Tropicales in the area. Screenshot them. And we'll go to the Central Pacific now, Manuel Antonio National Park and Central Pacific. And this is a beautiful place. This white sanded beach next to it, water 83 degrees Fahrenheit, around 27, 28 if you're in the Celsius. Get out of the ocean. Over here, guaranteed that you will see two species of sloths, 3 of monkeys, that you will see deers, you see agoutis, and you see raccoons. It's a beautiful place. And these are some of the choices that you can enjoy while you're in that Central Pacific area. Please screenshot it. You know the dynamic now. Hope you have saved it. We're going to move to the next image now. This is a very common thief. If you've been to Costa Rica, you know these guys in Manuel Antonio, right? These are your lodging options and Tucanes tours, tour operator transfers while in the area. This screenshot now, so we need to move a little bit faster, running short on time over here. Goya and Santa Teresa. I like to describe Costa Rica as a seahorse. So I'm talking about the head of the seahorse over here at Nicoya and Santa Teresa, very known for wellness, but also for nature observancy. So we'll see with the Monteverde area. Please screenshot this image. We'll move now. This is what it looks like. Best place to unplug, connect with nature, with yourself. And surfing is one of the options for this area. Connecting with nature. These are your choices. Beautiful hotels, excellent services, and Bay Island cruises with the one-day tour to Tortuga Island. Beautiful white sanded beach, 30 acres. Beautiful experience. Monteverde, place first started by the Quakers in 1955, run away from persecution. No persecution in Costa Rica, everyone is welcome. So this is your Options for the area, please screenshot that. Again, several options. People think about Monteverde, people think about the Quetzal and bird watching, but it isn't just about that, because we have blended. You can look for different tours, different options, and feel yourself like a bird when you go for adventure in this area. So Monteverde does have a lot to offer. Let's move on to our last place, definitely not the least, the South Pacific. Let me steal words from the National Geographic magazine, the most biologically intense spot in the planet. I'm not saying it, it's National Geographic. And if they say it, I guess you can believe it. This is a beautiful place. This is the last border for Costa Rica. So we want to preserve it like this. What we're looking at is not in any ways worked. It looks this way. There's 5 feet difference between high and low tides in Costa Rica. And as the tide goes down, this is what you will see. A natural whale tail shows up. In this area here, people go dolphin. If it's a rise season, don't miss the next webinar. We have whale watching as well. And then come back and they go snorkeling to this spot over here. We have seen people snorkeling over here and seen very close to them humpback whales jumping out of the water. It's a beautiful experience. Those are some of the options. Screenshot them, because we have many options for you in this area. I would love to have time to explain each and every one of them. This is really big passion to share our country with you, but please contact us. It is indeed one of the only places in Costa Rica we could give real chances of seeing jaguars, pumas, tapirs, the wildest animals, because it's an area that is isolated and we want to keep it that way. Also have contact with the pre-Columbian history, stone spheres in Costa Rica, one of the mysteries. No one has been able to solve this mystery yet, but definitely it is something that you want to go and look and experience yourself. And your choices. The difficult part about this is choosing one of them. They're all beautiful. They're all wonderful choices while in the area. Maybe go for all 3 of them, because they offer different things, different spots, different approaches for the area. So this was basically our presentation. We're gonna open now the Q&A, questions and answers. I'm gonna take this away. Let's go back to the camera. And we'll be opening the space for all of your questions. I'm pretty sure that you have some of them. We've had see. Can we get a copy of the presentation? Please write to us and we can definitely send the information for you. But again, we don't just want to reduce it to that. We can share much more with you. So let's be in contact. Will you be in YouTube? We're recording this. We'll be talking about members, and we'll see if that will be possible. Thank you very much. Yes, we will be there. I would like to know if you have other questions. Well, we use the minutes that we have left. We still have 5 minutes. If anyone would like to share their questions about the country. If not, let me just tell you how it's been run in Costa Rica. Thank you very much, ETS. If you think about the situation we're going through right now, and as we're opening the options of receiving tourism, again, definitely it's good for you to know that Costa Rica has had one of the most stable and lowest curves in terms of the corona. The dynamics in the country, in terms of health and all the education, all the professionals who have worked really hard on this. So definitely, Costa Rica is getting ready, is getting prepared for you to come back to Costa Rica, and we will be ready. But also, we believe that we will be one of the countries recovering in a better way from all of this. Remember that we're going to have more webinars. We'll be talking about all the details. Of course, there will be fam trips that will be run. We don't want to open too much this part, as we don't know for sure what would happen internationally. But we'll be in contact and we'll be letting you know when the fam trips will be run again. This is a big thing for us. When you come and visit the country for yourselves, you need to know the product as well. I could tell you all about the country, but if you don't live it, if you don't experience that pura vida, you don't know the country yet. So we'd love you to be in these fam trips. We are doing this. We will be organizing the fam trips for you. Okay, well, the question was answered already. 2 more minutes. If anyone else has a question for me, I'd be more than pleased to share more about my country with you. Remember, please to check sending you invitations. We're going to have other webinars. We have different subjects. Costa Rica is a year-round destination. Costa Rica for wellness tourism. We're going to also have the new options, not touristy destinations that will be shared. And others, if you have suggestions as well, we'll be open to your questions, your needs and desires. I do believe that we have reached the timing. Thank you very much in behalf of the Grupo Pro Imagen. Thank you very much in behalf of my country, Costa Rica, for thinking about us. Thank you very much for sending your customers to help other Costa Ricans. Really, it's been an honor for me to share this time with you. Thank you. Bye-bye.